Okay, I'm here. It is Friday, so um, I got to watch practice and qualifying for Cup today before work for once. um, I'm rewatching qualifying because it was so dang entertaining. Um, Only because um, Chase got the pole, his first pole that's not a restrictor plate track, because all of his poles, his four other poles, have come at Daytona. He had two for the Daytona 500, um, one for the second Daytona race, and then Talladega, and now Bristol. His first short track pole, his fifth career pole. I'm surprised he doesn't have more, but it is what it is. He could have had the pole at Phoenix, but he just missed out by like that much to Blaney. So Blaney looked like the fastest car during practice today. But practice was kind of hard to read because it was like pre-qualifying practice, so we won't know much about like race trim or anything like that, where people rely on handling until tomorrow for the two practices before the race on Sunday, which I'll actually get to watch hopefully in full. Um, uh, yeah, Blaney was fastest along with his teammate. I think it was Logano. Logano. Him and Logano topped practice. Um, Hendrick cars are looking good. Probably watching the first round of qualifying again. But anyway, it was like again hard to get a good read on first practice because it was pre-qualifying and people were just practicing the qualifying runs and just trying to get their car handling well for see where their car is at for qualifying. It's kind of cooler weather out there, so they had rain like earlier, like early morning, but it's now cleared up. We don't have to worry about it this weekend. Um, Qualifying first round, the second round, Blaney was like, can't be touched. Qualify. I'm like, he's gonna win the pole. I guarantee it. Second round, it was him and then Chase. But big news, Ryan Blaney set the new track record for qualifying. Beat Denny Hamlin's time. I don't remember what the time was, but his time was 14:52. Yeah, 14:52 8. 132 miles an hour. Um, and it looked like he was gonna go for the pole. It's like okay, Chase had just taken like the top spot. A minute or so to go. Blaney goes out for a qualifying run, and he just overdrove and just got super. He admitted that he got super greedy in turn 3, and just lost in 3 a little bit and couldn't recover after that. So he ended up qualifying third, which isn't bad, but he still qualified third. So, but for the second week in a row, Hendrick is showing flexing some muscle here. Second week in a row, Hendrick swept the front row. Last week, Jimmy Johnson got the pole, and Byron was running started second. This week, Chase got the pole, and with a lap of 14:56, so that was good. And then Byron second again. Again, gave pretty good at this qualifying thing. And Jimmy Johnson will start 10th. And Bone was just outside the top 12 and 14th, which is not bad. Top 15. Durkin, like, this is just a step in the right direction. We ran well in Texas. And hopefully we can bring that same momentum into Bristol. Chase usually runs well here. last spring. I thought he had like one of the fastest cars, but when like lap 2 or 3, that stupid incident happened with McDowell. It's always McDowell. Um, and he had that beautiful Baja Blast scheme. And if that incident happened, I felt like Chase would have been like a contender for the win or a top 5, like top 5, top 3 finish. Like even though he was like several laps down due to that incident, he had like one of the fastest cars there, so we didn't really get to see much of his car because he was several laps down, and they didn't care for following those cars around. But anyway, regardless of that, he had a strong run here in the fall, like at Bristol. In the fall, he had his best finish so far at Bristol is third. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, he finished third. That's his best finish at Bristol. Um, so hopefully we can do 2 spots better, or just within that top 3. I'd be happy. We need to win some stages, collect some stage points, get ourselves back in the conversation. People shut up about Hendrick a little bit, but Byron is starting to show some speed. Pretty good. People are still like saying he's like a little underdog and not like whatnot, but last week like Hendrick showed some muscle leading with 3 different cars. Jimmy, Chase, and Byron all led laps. And I got like the preview, like NASCAR preview magazine, whatever you want to call it, that from the Athlon Sports. The cover, like the one Chase was on the cover on last year, or a couple of years ago, I can't remember. And it's talking about like the youth, like I guess like the youth movement or the new era of drivers. They were talking about like Chase and Larson as like the top Chevy drivers, and they're saying like they're neither engaging or exciting personality wise, like outside of the car. It's like nothing. Like, excuse me? Chase is pretty engaging. That's why he's the most popular driver. And 2, he has a personality. Just because he's not over the top and whatnot. So, and I want to talk about DW for a second. He announced his retirement officially, Jenna. Asshole. Asshole. Um, that was just poor reporting on her part. People claim she knows stuff about NASCAR, but no one in the motorsports world or any sport really likes her because it's poor reporting on her part. But she was just basically tearing DW apart before he even made his announcement of retiring. Like everyone in the garage pretty much knew he was retiring, but didn't want to say anything until he said something, like DW himself. For someone in the media to say something like that towards him and disrespect him like that and be a sellout is not okay. Before you don't report before he reports to himself. Like I don't think that's ever okay. Like she was just tearing him apart. Like you either like him or you don't. But if he's people say what they want. They say he's not relevant and stuff, but he's the most relevant person in the broadcast booth. Him, Jeff, are like top notch commentators, reporters, whatever you want to call them. 20 years in the booth, and his personality has not changed from the time he was in the car racing to being in the booth for 19 years. Like, he was a hell of a driver, legend in the car. Won a bunch of, like, 84 races, what, 3 championships, Daytona 500 winner. It just, I don't understand why people think he's irrelevant when he's been the one reporting. He's like one of the he even said in his broadcast, like in his like media thing to like announce his retirement from the broadcast booth. So it's like no one has more passion like than I do, like for the sport. Like I have love and passion for the sport. And I can't just bring someone in who doesn't know anything about the sport or their insight and input. Like he's been through it. He's been in the car. He knows how the car works. He talks to crews and talks to drivers and stuff like that. A lot of commentators don't go out and do that really. NASCAR, like you see all these guys like go out and talk to crew members, talk to pit crews, whatever. It's like the drivers. It's like he's passionate about this sport, regardless if he's driving or not. Like he's like what in his early 70s. What is that? 72, like early 70s. He's been done a hell of a job in the booth, like hell of a job. No one is more experienced than him. He knows those cars inside and out. He knows knows every single track inside and out. Um, and to say he's not relevant is fucking disrespectful. You don't have to like him, but respect his what he's done for the sport. Like he's left a mark on the sport in driving and in the broadcast with his personality has not changed in 19 years. Like I'm gonna miss the boogity boogity boogie. Like when Daytona hits like next year, that's gonna be one thing I'm gonna miss the most. Cause that's like who doesn't love that? I don't understand why people don't like him. It just doesn't make any sense. Like the younger generation disrespects him so goddamn much. Like I'm part of a young generation, but I'm old enough to know a legend and respect him as I see it. Like I know I said I wouldn't talk about Kyle Busch, but in time he will become a legend. Right now he's a great driver, super talented. I respect the hell out of his talent. I would never disrespect what he's done in the sport and what he's done for the sport. Yes, he's a pain in the ass, but he's a hell of a driver. That's all you can ask for. But other than that, DW, we're gonna miss you in the booth. It's not gonna be the same without you. We'll see who comes into the booth next, and I doubt they won't be equally as amazing as you are, because you're just top notch. You and your brother are just like Michael does a great job with pit like that pit road thing and whatnot. So anyway, qualifying, back to that. Kyle Busch didn't qualify well at all. Martin Truex, nor Kevin Harvick. Well, Kevin Harvick finished qualified 13th, but it's a little unusual. I don't think Larson qualified well. He qualified 16th, and yeah, so Hendrick showing some power here. Got in the top 15 in qualifying, 3 in the top 10. Even though Ford was overpowering in the top 12, we still had four Chevys, 4 or 5 Chevys in the top 12. 3 of them Hendrick cars, which is good. We're showing some speed, going step in the right direction. Now we just need to win some stages, get some points, like I said before. Um, so we'll see how Chevy plays out on Sunday. Hopefully we have a good run, lead some laps, and get a stage win or two. Top 5 for qualifying was Chase, Byron, Jones, no, who was, no, it was Chase, William, Blaney, and Jones. Like, that's the youngest top 4 ever. Like, the average age is 23 years old, 2 months and 15 days. That is crazy. Now they're going to round 2, so, but that's crazy. The young guns are showing some power, so, got 2 practices tomorrow. Got the qualifying, Xfinity qualifying early in the morning because they run at about like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Pacific Coast time, 1 p.m. Eastern, I believe. It's a dash for cash race, so what was I saying? Dash for cash race, so that means no cup drivers for the next 4 races, which is nice. So we can get the, like, don't get me wrong, I don't care if cup drivers are in the field or not, but I would like to see a series regular win other than Busch. Anyway, so we'll see the series regulars have some fun tomorrow. I'll actually get to watch that race before I go to work. And of course, like the week after this, the race after this, Richmond, the night race, I have to miss that because the day after, like, I have the day off. Like, the one Sunday I get off, they don't run that day. They run the night before, and I miss it. That irritates the shit out of me, but at least I'll get to watch Bristol as much as I can, so, but I did wear my Ryan Blaney shirt today, and he topped practice, so it must have been a sign. But I feel good about Hendrick's chances on Sunday. We'll see. I'm going to go to bed, finish this qualifying, and yeah, everyone enjoy their weekend, and I'll come back and review Bristol when I can, because I've been working a lot lately, so forgive me. I'm so tired.